Test. Alright, we got the stream up and going. Let's do a little sound check. Sound check is good. And let's set up the flight. Today we're going to be flying in the Boeing 757 FedEx from Memphis International, and we'll go off the south ramp. That'll be good. And of course we have match real world conditions. We're going to set the refresh rate at 15 is good. And tracking time, we're going to start with the engines off. And make sure that everything's fixed. No failures today. Maybe next time. And let's let that load up. And while we're letting that load up, let's take a look on the other screen here. So we're going to be flying from Memphis to Fargo, North Dakota. This is a real FedEx flight, generally performed in an Airbus A300, but today we're going to do it in a 757. So we get this interesting route here. And let's take a look at our flight plan. Gonna need plenty of fuel. I loaded it kind of light today, only 33.3 thousand in cargo. And wow, it wants us to go up to flight level 380. Okay. And our aircraft's loaded over here. Let me fix this real quick. And we'll kind of move this. That'll be alright right there. Okay, so let's take a look and see what departure we're going to be using today. Alright, so I'm just using SimBrief here to generate a flight plan, and it says we're going to use a JT4 departure. So I'll go back over to Navigraph charts, and then let's take a look here. And JT4. I'm going to favorite that one. The wind currently is going to be out of the south. So we're going to be departing on 18 center. And so we're going to go out Cheeto, Mudho, etc. Till we get to H, Houston, I guess. And then JT up there. Okay. Sounds good. And let's go back and look at the Fargo charts. Cold temperature restricted airport. I wonder how cold it is there now. Let's look on windy. See how cold it is. It's 1 degree Fahrenheit. Holy moly, that's cold. Looks like they're gonna have some pretty good winds going later on. 36 knots. 36 knots from the northwest. Wow. Talk about wind chill. Holy moly. Okay. Let's see, there's no stars. I didn't think there would be. Let's take a look at the actual airport so we can see which... Okay, well, it's pretty clear. We're going to be landing on runway 18 or 36 because these runways are not very big. It says runway 9/27 east of runway 1836 is restricted to aircraft less than 100,000 pounds, and we're definitely going to be over 100,000. So, and then this obviously 13 and 31 is way too small. It's only 3,801 feet long, and we're going to need a little bit longer of a runway. So we'll pick, I guess 36. Let's see which way the wind's coming. Oh, the wind is pretty much out of the north-northwest. Okay, so we'll do 36. That'll be fine. And we do have an RNAV, but I'm also gonna bookmark the ILS just in case. It may be stormy when we get there. If we don't get going soon, it may actually clear. So I'm gonna try to get this going as fast as I can. Okay, so I'm gonna leave up this, and then we'll leave this going here. Weather radar. Actually, what we'll do is we'll check the winds once we get in the air. So we're here in Memphis, and I think we're ready to go ahead and start with the checklists and get the plane going. Okay, let's get this show on the road. Apparently we're being de-iced right now. And we just got buzzed by something at about Mach 20. I don't know what that was. Maybe a cruise missile. Not sure what that was. Okay. Okay, I am referring to the Boeing 757-200, which is, we're not in the 200, we're in the freighter. This is the normal procedure and checklist that comes with the Flight Factor 757. You can download this, and I printed it out, so I'll be referring to it on the printed copy. So we're going to start with all the checklists. I'm going to just run through them quickly because the plane is in off condition, so we'll go ahead and go from the power down off position. Okay, we're sitting in the captain's seat here, so we'll be doing this from the captain's side. I think normally this would not be from the captain's side, but it's okay. So all circuit breakers check. Yep, all good. Yep. Light override. Nope, and nothing's on, so overhead panel is full up, I guess it would be. Dim, bright, bright. Battery on. Battery discharge light is lit. Standby power is auto. Left and right bus tie auto. Left right utility bus auto. Landing gear is down. Alternate flaps down. Parking brake is set. Okay, establish ground power, and do we have external power available right now? We sure do. Let's go ahead and turn that bad boy on. Okay, we're not going to turn on the APU yet. We're going to skip that, go to position lights as required. And wing lights, we don't need that because it's morning. Let's go ahead and start with the IRU. We're going to turn those on to nav. Check that the on DC light is on. And it should extinguish and change to the align. While we're doing that, we're going to check the ICAS. ICAS is good. Okay, has gone to align. Oxygen pressure is sufficient. We're going to pretend that's checked. Hydraulic quantity, we can actually check that. 0.88 has to be within 75 to 90%, and it is correct. Emergency equipment is present. Flight deck access is fine. We need people to be able to get in and out, but I don't even think there's a door there. Whatever. Flight recorder. Test 1, 2. Test. Check. Script test. Script test lights all on. Okay, we're gonna skip that, Okay, CDU pre-flight procedure, CDU ident page. Okay, check model is correct. Engine type, correct. Nav database, correct. CDU position initialize. GMT verifies correct. Did I skip that? I think so. Reference airport. And set IRS position. CDU route page. Origin. Destination. Flight number. Enter flight number. We are going to be FDX 1554. Route. Page. Next page, then press enter. Okay, I'm going to press next page and then enter route. When route entered, activate and execute. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and set that up now per our checklist. It wants us to do that, so we're going to do departures, arrivals. What? No, I don't want that. We're going to do JT4. Now, referring to our SimBrief flight plan routing, so it's JT4, O date transition for runway 18 center. Okay, then we're going to go direct to Heston, H-E-S-T-N. So we'll go back to route, next page, direct, H-E-S-T-N. TN direct, not in database. Mother, oh, I put Keston. GSTN. There we go. Direct Javas. Direct Javas. I am drinking some Javas right now. And then we're going to go direct RWF. Direct FAR. I'm guessing that's the KFAR. Oopsies. Nope. For now, we're going to pick RNAV 36. Let me take a look at that chart again. Actually, you know what? That's fine. We're going to leave it like that, and then we'll change it as we get closer. Invalid entry. This is so weird. Okay. Okay, so activate and execute. Just fixing this up real quick. Alright, we have no speed or altitude restrictions on our departure, so fix that in just a second. Okay, routes entered. Continue with the cockpit preparation procedure checklist. Okay, we need EEC. Yaw damper left right on. Left AHF radio on. Aircraft power APU or GPU confirmed. GPU is confirmed. Cockpit voice recorder tested okay. Final flood lighting is off. Runway taxi lights off. Position lights on. Anti-collision lights red, white off. Wing lights off. Oh, never mind. As required, they are off. Wiper selection, rain repellent if equipped off. Wing anti-ice is off. Fuel crossfeed is off. Fuel boost pumps left, right, center, forward, aft all off. Engine start is left, right, off. And engine ignition set opposite side. Engine limiter if equipped left, right, on. Ram air turbine light off and guarded. Emergency lights armed and guarded. Come on. Ugh, okay, there we go. Where was I at? Oh yeah. Window heat all on. Right HF radio on. No smoking on. I'm gonna leave it off because I'll be vaping during this flight, so we're gonna say smoking's okay. Seatbelts on.
The captain has turned on the seatbelt
Oh
sign.
no.
Please take your
We're not
seats.
gonna do that. Hold on, let me turn this off. Disabling passengers FX because I don't want to hear the passenger sounds on a cargo flight. Outflow valve indicator is full open, correct. Cabin altitude mode set to auto 1 or auto 2. We'll set to auto 1. Cabin altitude, landing altitude set. We'll check that in a minute. Logo lights as required. Indicator light test. Looks good. Okay, let's go down. Down. Okay, that looks good. And the LT switch is up here on the top right, and it is armed. Okay. If no ground air supply, APU start. APU bleed switch open. APU, we'll go ahead and start it now. Wait, hold on first. First and foremost, let's set up the aircraft. We do have high pressure unit, that's okay. Our cargo weight needs to be 33.3 thousand. So we're going to go ahead and check the gross weight, and that needs to be 33 more than the zero fuel weight. So let's add some pallets. Actually, hang on. Our gross weight needs to be okay, gross weight blah 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 186.4. Right now it's 168, so we need to add some cargo into this bad boy. 10 pallets, that's too much. 5 puts us at 180, and so we need to be at 186, so we're at 6,400 pounds in here. So like I said, this is a light flight. We're only carrying 5 pallets. Maybe it's like a custom delivery or something, I don't know. And the fuel weight, we're gonna add 23,384. Okay, so let's double check our calculations here. It says zero fuel weight should be 163.7. That is not correct. That's what we're trying to get to. Oops. What I meant to do was this. What did I put? What did I have? 45? About. Okay, minus there we go. Optimize CG. And we're ready to load it up. Doors are closed. Ah, let's head open the doors. Okay, plane is loading. So one of the things about the Flight Factor is it doesn't have any kind of ground handling. If you're familiar with the PMDG products, the 777 cargo variant has some beautiful cargo loading, ground handling. It's pretty amazing actually, and it's not quite the same, so you kind of have to use your imagination, which I'm sure a lot of flight simmers are used to doing that. The doors open and they look nicely modeled. You can see the hinges and the weird looking dudes in the cockpit, and the cargo bay seems to go back like not all the way to the back of the plane. That's weird. Huh. Maybe that's how it is in real life, I don't know. Yep, that's weird. So we'll do an exterior inspection of our airplane. Make sure there's none of them red tags on here. Flight control surfaces look good. So if we were on the ground, it would be more looking like this. Okay, so it all looks good. We'll go ahead and back up upstairs into the cockpit. Okay, so let's just double check here in our cockpit. We stocked with toilet paper. We're going to need that. Alright. Got some of that hand lotion there. Don't want to know what the first officer is going to do during the flight. That's bizarre. Why does the door open inward? Okay. Yeah, just open inward. That's fine. Is it open? Oh, it sure is. Look at that. Wow, that looks weird. Why does it look like that? Why is it like that? That is so weird. I wonder if it really opens like that. Okay, let's get back to it. Okay, IRS is aligned now. Alright, so let's set up the MCP. No, we were going back to air supply. Okay, so air supply, let's start the APU. Slowly starting. And APU bleed switch open. APU must run 1 minute before APU bleed valve is on. Okay, has anybody got their stopwatch going? Okay, APU is started. I'm going to wait till it gets to 100 RPM. And then after that we're going to do pack air supply and bleed isolation open. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bleed it now. Pack air supply auto and isolation open. AC packs left right auto. Trim air on. Recirc fans on. Temperature set. Now down to the MCP. Flight directors on. Auto throttle arm. Oh, off. Okay. Bank limit auto or 25. We're going to set it on auto. Heading is runway heading, so we're going to change that to 180. Altitude as assigned on this departure, I think it's like 5,000. We'll check on the chart before we take off. Autopilot disengage bar is up. Oxygen mask test. Instrument source. Okay, I'm just gonna run through all of these. Left, left, off, good. Airspeed indicator looks normal. The magnetic direction indicator looks normal. Auto land status test. Okay, yep, good. Altimeter set, and so for that we need to switch over to our charts and take a look and see what the ATIS frequency is. Sideways. 12775.
Memphis INTL Information Hotel. 1500 Zulu weather. Wind 170 at 11, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 7,000 scattered, 9,000 broken, 25,000 broken, temperature 12, dew point 8. Altimeter 3008. Arriving runways 18 center, 18 right, 18 left, Departing runways 18 center, 18 right, 18 left. Advise on initial contact you have hotel.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, altimeters are set. Standby altimeter set. Standby airspeed is normal. ICAS message expected, shown, cancel, then recall to test. Okay, cancel, 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 recall. ICAS is checked. Standby engine indicator on. Auto brake is off. TMCP computer auto. Thrust reference set both in. Okay. Oh, this looks good. Cut off. Okay. Right forward, right instrument panels. Okay, I didn't mess with any of those, so we're going to skip that. We don't have a first officer bridge. Decision height reference. Set to 800. Terrain is required. No, it's not even on, so it doesn't matter. Okay, that's good. HSI range. I like to have it nice and tight whenever I'm taking off. HSI traffic. And we do want traffic. Traffic is on. Weather radar test. Warning, warning, warning. Do not turn on near personnel. Okay, it's in the test mode. Auto. Let's do the weather test. Ooh, pretty colors. Do the terrain test. More pretty colors. I love that CRT effect. How it looks like grainy. But at the same time, I wish they had LCDs in here. Okay, we'll leave terrain on. And where are we at now? We're at left comm radio set and left audio panel configured, ADF panel, ILS radio unparked, frequencies off. Engine bottle 1 discharge is off, engine bottle 2 discharge off, fire lights are off, left and right, and the levers are in. Transponder panel TCAS test, then standby mode. TCAS test, and then standby mode. While we're doing that, we're going to look for the APU bottle discharge is down and the fire light is off. Audio panel is configured and ADIS is received. Pre-flight checklist. And this is the final cockpit preparation before start procedure. At this point, we would ask for our clearance. It would be something like this. FedEx 1554, Memphis clearance delivery. Request IFR to Fargo. What is it called? Yeah, Hudson, I think. And Tinson, something like that. Hector, there it is. Hector International. Request clearance to Hector International. And they would come back and tell us FedEx 1554 cleared Hector International via what's our departure? JT departure. And then our transition, expect 5,000 feet, and then expect your whatever feet after so many minutes. So we'll do like 10,000 feet after 5 minutes. Departure is on, and they'll tell us our departure frequency, and then they'll give us a squawk. So in this case, our squawk is going to be just 2200 because we're flying IFR and we're flying offline. And then we'll, or maybe we can connect to VATSIM, I don't know. And we'll set to the departure frequency of 122.8, which is the Unicom. Okay, final fuel load sheet. We have received our final fuel load sheet. Is over here on the other screen. So we already put that into the computer and we're good. Maintenance items, we didn't have any of those. Actually, we can double check that over here. We can double check that. Double check that our maintenance items have been taken care of. Okay, yes. Excellent. Flight attendants, we don't have any. PA, we don't have that. Runway sit in transition is set. Now it's time to do the final setup on the CDU. Why did I close that? We still need it. Okay, so our zero fuel weight is 163775. 163.8. Reserves, we have none. Cruising altitude is going to be a lofty 380, and the cost index is 25. Takeoff reference page. And flaps are going to be on 5 degrees. Our center of gravity is 25%, and the wind is at 170 at 11. Outside air temperature is plus 15 Celsius. And now we have our V speed set. Okay, so our rotate is 128, and I want to check that the bugs are set. V2 135. Bugs are set. Okay, so look at this. Somebody explained to me in the comments why this is like this. The climb is like, it doesn't say anything. I have no idea why. I cannot figure it out. These have been blank ever since I upgraded to this plane, the new version. Okay. Back to the MCP. We want the V2 speed in the IAS. Hold on a minute. Yep, that's correct. Okay. LNAV armed is required. ACARS, we don't have that. Com, tuned and set. Yes. Okay, takeoff briefing. Alright, so for this takeoff, I'll be handling everything. If there's an emergency before V1 speed, I will go ahead and abort the takeoff. Anything higher, I will continue the takeoff. There's a fire, I will jump out the window. And in any other case, I will abandon all cargo and live on an island like a castaway. Takeoff briefing complete. Exterior doors closed. Close all doors. Doors are closing. Cockpit door secured and locked. We don't have a cockpit door, so we're gonna just, yep, good. Passenger signs. We don't have passengers. Cabin preparation is complete. Now let's get rid of this ground equipment. Thank you for the de-icing, even though we didn't need it. Field truck, bye-bye. High pressure unit can leave. Stairs can leave. Let's make sure before we turn off this ground power unit that we're on APU gen. So APU gen looks good. Switched over, and we can disconnect that. Okay, pushback clearance. We'd call ground FedEx 1554 to Memphis ground, ready for pushback, and we are cleared to pushback and startup. Nose wheel steering locked out. There's no way to do that on this plane that I know of. Check for. Okay, crew chief is authorizing us to turn on our stuff, our hydraulics, pressurize the hydraulics. Okay, so right elec hydraulic pump, right elec on, center elec on, center on, left elec on, left elec is on, fuel pumps forward and aft on, all on, parking brake release when instructed. Okay. See, this happened last time too. Better pushback wasn't working. Is it just gonna start pushing us? Does it even know where I want to go? Do you know where I want to go? Is it just gonna randomly push me somewhere, or what? What's going on here? Oh, does it operate with the throttle? What's going on? Oh my god. Does it operate with the flight controls? Yeah, it does, but this is so weird. I think it does. I think I control it with this. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so before start checklist, flight deck doors are closed. Windows are locked. MCP is set. Takeoff speed set. CDU pre-flight is completed. Taxi and takeoff briefing is completed. And let's turn those red anti-collision lights on. The ground crew engine areas are cleared. And then we're going to call for the... yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, engine 1, start. And then we're going to go... AC pack confirm off. AC pack's off. Engine start to ground. Turn off isolation while we start left. N3 at 25%. Man, this thing takes forever. This is the weirdest pushback. Yeah, whatever, that's great. That's good. Okay, so let's do this correctly now so that I don't have to worry about that. Turn right engine hydraulics on. Now we're going to leave that on auto. Okay, so the correct way to do this is engine start to ground, duct pressure. Oh, isolation off there. Okay, duct pressure sufficient for start greater than 30 psi. Engine indications N2, N3 rise. That is correct. EGT less than 100 C, correct. N3 greater than 25% for Rolls-Royce. Fuel control lever to rich. Rolls-Royce at 25%. Fuel valve spar lights turn on. Spar lights on and off. EGT and fuel flow cycle on then off. Correct. N1 rotation immediate with EGT rise. EGT rise. EPR indicating. It is indicating. And into N3 stable within 60-62%. No, they went back down. EGT within the limits rolls back from peak. Yes. Okay, electric power transfer. confirm on. When pushback is complete, parking brake is set, AC packs back on, engine bleeds on, isolations off, APU bleed is off, APU off, engine anti-ice is required, not required, trim pitch is set. Oh, did we check our trim? What was it? No. 3.8. It was definitely not at 3.8. There we go. Flap set, takeoff flaps 15 flaps, please. And flight controls, check. Alright, full left, full right, full up, full down, yaw left, yaw right, and flight controls are checked. ICAS messages, recall, cancel and recall. Oh, you only see parking brake, that's perfect, that's what we need. Ground crew, let's make sure they clear the aircraft. Okay, everybody's gone. Engines are on. Looks pretty. Auto brake set to RTO. Engine start left, right to continuous. Okay. There we go. For taxi checklist, anti-ice off, isolation switch off, recall check, auto brake RTO, flight controls check, trim set, ground equipment clear, taxi route understood and received. We're going to taxi to 18 Center via whatever taxiway we want to. Taxi clearance is received, FedEx 1554, taxi wherever you want to 18 Center. Roger. Taxi right on as required, not required, it's daytime, brakes tested, yep, brakes working? Yeah, they're working real good. Okay. Logo light as required, wing lights as required, and weather radar 2, weather mode. Weather mode is set. Did we check this? No, we didn't, but that's okay. It looks good now. Okay, aircraft taxi speed guidelines straight ahead 25 knots, turns up to 45 degrees, 25 knots, turns greater than 45 degrees, 10 knots, caution. Use extreme caution when using nose wheel steering if ground speed is greater than 20 knots. Over control of the nose wheel is likely, particularly on a wet or slippery surface. Operate engines at taxi thrust settings for at least 5 minutes. It is not necessary to delay takeoff. Do not exceed 35% N1 in congested areas unless cleared by appropriate personnel. When stationary, do not exceed 1.06 EPR with a tailwind exceeding 5 knots or crosswind component exceeding 15 knots. Do not apply takeoff thrust until engine oil temperature is greater than 50 Celsius. Okay, so we're still working on it on engine 2, and that's fine. Let's get rolling. And get the N2 up to about like, or N1 to about like 26, 27. Did we turn our white collision lights on? Oh, we don't need that right now. We'll turn it on in a second. I think we're gonna go up to this. I don't remember what taxiway that is, but let me check real quick on the chart. Sierra? Yeah. We're gonna go up to taxiway Sierra and turn left. Thank you guys for joining the live stream. For those who missed the cockpit setup, we are running everything by the FCOM, which is the instructions that are given from Boeing on how to operate this aircraft. So that's what took so long for the startup. That was a semi-realistic startup. At least all of our checklist items are done. And as we come onto the runway here, we're going to do a rolling start. So let me get everything ready here. Slow down a little bit. Get that tiller going over to the right. FedEx 1554, ready at runway 18 center. And we would get a takeoff clearance. FedEx 1554, cleared for takeoff, runway 18 center, depart runway heading, then right turn to whatever degrees on JT, whatever number it is. Okay. I think everything's set. Fly this bad boy. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Flaps up to 5. Flaps up to 1. Set it to like 225. Auto throttles are on. Right. Nearing altitude, so I'm gonna reduce power and 2500 over. Slats full up. And we're gonna climb to our cruising altitude. Oh boy. No, heading hold. Let me get direct gas in. Come on. Oh my god. Okay, helmet on. Flaps are up. Across 10,000, lights off. Okay, I turned the weather on since we are flying over some interesting clouds here. We are totally above the clouds now. Okay, and once we get out of this, we'll speed up. Okay, so this is our departure after Emax Eve. We're going to travel 33.6 miles to HS Ton, or Houston. After Houston, we're going to do a left turn to 357 to JT, and then O-Date transition, and we'll be out of our SID. We're going to climb up to, let's see here, up to 38,000. Okay, so after takeoff checklist, landing gear is up and all flaps are up, packs and engine bleeds are on. Climb and cruise procedure, OAT less than 10C with visible moisture, wing and engine and anti-ice are off. We do have moisture, so we'll go ahead and turn anti-ice on. Weather radar confirmed WX select on ND. Landing lights off, passing 10,000 MSL, no smoking signs off, yes, off. Transition altitude set, cross check altimeters on standby. Transition altitude is set to 1902. Or, I mean 292. Monitor fuel flow continuously. Adjust routing for ATC, arrival time, destination, weather, delays, update cabin. And we're good until the descent. Thank you guys for joining the live stream. A shout out to Steven, who was our first live chat participant. Thank you for the good sound check, Steven. Dima Spawn, who retracted his or her message. LeBron James is watching my stream today. That's interesting. And LeBron says, why are we still here? And just to suffer. No, airplanes actually have to go through a full startup procedure. You don't just hop in the bad boy, turn it on, and go. Not like a car in that respect. So, no, we were still there doing the procedures, and I did speed through them. I did not do them super realistically. So, that was why we were still there. And NIKXUX says DPOIUHGUIGAGTIPU. Depoiku Guig Tipu. Yep, I agree. As we fly over this, you can see this is actual photorealistic scenery from Tennessee. This is right outside of Memphis International Airport, Memphis, Tennessee. That's the FedEx hub. So what you're looking at here, this is real being, oh, there went the clouds. And they're back again. That's a bug of X-Plane, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So what you're looking at there is real being satellite imagery of the ground. You can see some circle cropping going on there, some river meandering going on over here. It looks like there was a meandering river at here at one point. It looks pretty cool. It's really neat because you can see the oxbow legs and everything. It's beautiful. Okay, I apologize about that. It looked like we had a short disconnection there. I am streaming today with AT&T Gigabit Uverse connection, so anything that happens is probably going to be YouTube's fault. So we look head on into the Boeing 757 freighter cockpit. A very majestic looking airplane. Let's go back in the cabin and take a look and make sure everything's good. Okay, we're about to pass Houston, and we'll do a left turn to 357. Let's go ahead and change our heading to 357. Oops. At this point, I'll go ahead and increase the range. Wow, we have a crosswind of 264 degrees at 52 knots. The wind is really blowing up here. Let's take a look at Windy on the other monitor and check the upper level winds on our route. Switch you over here to left monitor. And as we change this to flight levels, let's see, we're going to be, where are we at right now? We're at 30,000 feet, so we'll put it right somewhere up here. And we're leaving Memphis, Tennessee, going straight north up here to Fargo. And here's Fargo right here. So, stand by. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to have to take a brief break, so I'm going to leave the cockpit view on, and we'll do this as well, so you can kind of check out the wind where we're at. So I'll check back in about 10 minutes, and this will be about a 2-hour flight, so feel free to come back in a little bit when we're closer to Fargo. Alright, howdy everybody. We have some questions on the live chat. What is your PC for Run X-Plane 11? My PC specs are, I have a i5 6600K and GTX 960. Using a Z170 motherboard. And actually I'm running X-Plane off of a 5400 RPM disk, so I mean it's not great, doesn't load very fast, but it has that's where all my storage is at, the ortho and all that stuff, so you know it takes some considerable amount of space. But I would like to upgrade to a next gen GTX card next cycle. Right now my GPU is bottlenecking everything. The i5 6600K is a great processor. It runs at 3.5. I can overclock it up to like 4.2 with no problem. Very stable. So you know, it's I think I was at 4. Maybe it was at 4.0. I think it was at 4.0. But anyway, just doing a multiplier on it, it ran fine, and that was through the BIOS overclock tool. So probably hang on to this build. Oh, I have 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I would like to upgrade that to 32 eventually as well. But you know, I have more important things to spend my money on, like buying property right now. So this is kind of a secondary. I am in the process of building a home cockpit, but that is on standby right now until I close on my investment, and then once we get closed on the investment, then I'll start building that again. Alright, let's just do a little glance around the cockpit here, make sure everything looks good. Actually, there is ATC on the ground at Fargo, Hector. Been online for 2 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and send my flight plan. Well, okie doke. Wow. I connected to VATSIM and it chunked the plane around quite a bit. And we got blue skies, no clouds. Clear, clear, clear. Alright, let's see where we're at on the map. They are... Somebody's flying a 777 into Fargo. That's interesting. We have three FedEx flights coming in. The 777 from O'Hare, a 757, and another 777. Oh, I guess those guys are flying together. And a, let's see, what is this? Delta 717. I bet that guy disconnects before we even get there. I'm gonna race FedEx 5817. I'm racing you, buddy. I'm gonna put this bad boy all the way at the red line. I'm gonna overspeed the shit out of this thing. Daniel asks, where will you land? We are landing in Fargo, North Dakota. Looks like there's a nice winter storm blowing through. Now, unfortunately, X-Plane does not have winter scenery, so it's not going to look like winter. There's no snow on the ground. If we had some sort of a winter scenery, you'd probably see snow on the ground. Probably right now too, but no snow. So I think that's something that X-Plane is eventually gonna implement, because Prepared and Flight SimX both have like seasons type deal. But I still prefer X-Plane over those, even though they have the time appropriate scenery. This still looks much better. This is default gen, by the way. I'm not sure that we're probably over. Are we over Nebraska? Where are we? Somebody tell me where we're at. We're probably somewhere over Nebraska or Iowa right now. And I'm sure it snows up there in December. Yeah, we're in Iowa. Iowa. We just passed KOXV in Iowa. So I'm not quite sure. It says that's Knoxville Regional Airport, and that is to the southwest of, southeast of Des Moines. So we're going to be flying over Des Moines here in a moment, and now we have some clouds generating in. It looks like we are going over this river right now. I don't know what river this is. The Des Moines River. Imagine that. Imagine that. We're flying over the Des Moines River. So we're somewhere in this vicinity. I can see a little squiggly river, and there's the lake there. Yep. So we're flying somewhere like Knoxville, north of that. So Des Moines should be right here on our left. And I see a big airport right there. I'm guessing that's going to be a Des Moines. Yep, that's the Des Moines International Airport. Okay. And looking at real-time conditions down there, overcast at 4,200 feet. Clouds are scattered at 3,100. So I don't think that this weather is actually a accurate depiction of what's going on, because it says it's overcast about 5,000 or 4,200. So not quite so accurate. And we'll be passing over Ames, Clarion, Algona, probably this way. Estherville. Never heard of these places before. And if you're wondering, I'm using windy.com. Windy, like it's so windy outside. This is an amazing app. Truly is amazing. If you do any kind of flight simming, this is like the map that you want. So it gives you airport conditions, IFR, VFR, LIFR. It gives you a really nice view of the wind. You can do winds aloft, winds at surface. You can do weather radar. You can play. It uses forecast modeling. So I think it's GFS. I'm not too sure. It looks like that storm has already gone through Fargo. It just passed through right now. It looks like maybe there's a little bit left, but I think by the time we get there, it's gonna have stopped raining. That's a shame. I wanted to do some IFR approaches. Back in the cockpit. And for those three that are watching right now, we are probably going to be landing in about an hour, I would say. We're still over Iowa. We still need to go past through what is that right there? Wisconsin, maybe? Yeah? No. The hell state is that? Minnesota, thank you. Okay. Minnesota, we still need to travel through Minnesota, then we'll start a descent over Minnesota and then land straight in at Fargo. So hopefully we'll get some nice storm generation going on. I'd like to see some storms fire up there. Looked like they had some real heavy precip right there in north of Fargo. It actually went right through. Real strong thunderstorm, it looks like. It might be snow. Shoot, I don't know. What's the temperature there? It probably was snow. Oh yeah, it is. Temperature is by about 35 degrees, 1 degree Celsius. Clouds overcast at 500, visibility 1.75 statute miles with a light snow. Peak winds at 330 at 29 knots. Looks like Monday at oh wow, and we might be looking at some LIFR there. Overcast at 500 feet. Monday at 12 noon local time. It says wind 340 knots, gusting at 28. Visibility 1 statute mile. Light snow, mist, blowing snow. How's it? Light snow, mist, blowing snow. Overcast at 800 feet. Huh. Well, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, it looks like they had a heavy snow just now. So I don't know, because I don't live in a snow climate. I live in a non-snow, like i.e. never snows climate. So I don't know what's the procedure when you get a dump of heavy snow on an airport. If anybody knows what the procedure for cleaning off a runway is, do they take like big old trucks out there, snow plows, and like plow the snow? How does that happen? I would guess they have to. I mean, because well, how else would you see the runway? You couldn't see the runway. So I guess everybody's diverted during a snowstorm. Maybe not. Maybe you can see the runway. Shoot, I don't know. Okay, it looks like there's no moisture up here. We can go ahead and turn the anti-ice off. It's dry, 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 dry. Oof, no. And we'll get up from our station here. Going back. And FedEx frowns upon leaving the aircraft unattended to use the lavatory. But if both the first officer and the captain had some bad spicy tacos at the airport prior to departure, it's possible that they could both end up in a lavatory at the same time. Now, unfortunately, this aircraft only has one lavatory. So, unless they were sitting on each other in the bathroom, I don't know how that would work. Make sure you always wash your hands, boys and girls. You don't want to touch the flight controls after you've used the restroom without washing your hands. Do not wave into the toilet. Do not wave at the toilet. Okay. We have some oxygen over here. Fire extinguisher. No sit, no step. So, what is this if it's no sit and no step? I'm stuck on it. It's just a box. Okay. Let's see what's on the floor in this bad boy. We got some hot battery bus. Look at this. Servus. Hot battery. Get your hot battery here. Get your hot battery. Interesting. Huh. Got a briefcase. A lot of briefcases. Sneak down around here, see what's over here. Hot dog. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Need the oxygen. Just kidding. Actually, it was it's funny. My brother-in-law was over here the other day, and I changed a setting, and it completely turned off the plane. Like, everything was off. All of a sudden, we have no power, no cabin altitude, nothing. So we were at like 29,000, something somewhere ridiculous high, right? And all of a sudden, the cabin pressure is dropping, and so my vision started blacking out on the game. And I put on the oxygen mask, and well, actually I blacked out all the way, and I had to try to find the oxygen mask with just the cursor. And because if you right click when the cursor's over something, you can see what it's about to be on. And so I finally found it, put the oxygen mask on, and restarted the engines with a ram air turbine, and he landed without killing anybody. It was actually pretty cool. So thanks for joining the stream, everyone. TJ Style asked the question, hey bro, how to get it? How to get it X-Plane 11? How to get it is via Steam. You can download, you can purchase it through Steam. I would recommend waiting until it's on a Steam sale. They just had a sale, so you're probably not going to find one for a while. Or you can go to xplane.com, x-plane.com, and you can buy it there. I think it's $50, maybe $60, something like that. The Steam edition is usually the same price. Now, the only thing with the Steam edition is you don't have access to the betas, I believe. I could be wrong, but I purchased mine through the non-Steam edition, through their website. So the only difference is you can place the, you know, you can place all the files wherever you want them. You can do that in Steam too, but really there's no difference. I don't have to launch Steam to launch the game, which I prefer. I prefer not having to use Steam to launch games. But a lot of games, that's the only platform you can buy them on. So if you're just now joining us, we're flying from Memphis to Fargo. Fargo in North Dakota. It is cold as balls there right now, and it just got done snowing, so we're hoping for some bad weather. Like a total blizzard would be awesome, but if not, then Gaming Horse asks, wanna play together? Sure, Gaming Horse. If you want to fly on VATSIM, we can connect on VATSIM, but all I fly is really commercial, so I don't fly any fighter jets or anything like that, so I'm not sure how exactly we'd play together. If you have an aircraft that we can do shared cockpit, I'd be down for that. Now let's do some exterior views real quick. We're in a Boeing 757 freighter. This is the Federal Express livery, equipped with the Rolls-Royce engines, no winglets. FedEx does not install winglets on their 757s. We'll do a little flyby. Leaving a nice contrail there because we're flying at 38,000 feet. And I'm sure that the air is pretty cold at that. Let's see. Yeah, we're reading negative 29 on the air temperature, so that's pretty cold. Okay, let's take a look here. It looks like we have 247 nautical miles to go until we've arrived at Fargo. Okay, so let's find where that VOR is, RWF. and RWF VOR. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on split view. Why not just give you an outside shot while we're working on this? Again, I'm using Navigraph Charts desktop. You can also find all these charts online for free. Okay, so it's at the intersection of Q190, J190 and J34. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea. We're probably right about here, and so we have 80 miles to go until RWF. Then we'll start a slow descent, I guess, and then set up on coming into Fargo. I don't have any vertical planning, so this is just going to be flying by the seat of my pants, literally. Okay, 59 miles to Fargo, and we're traveling at a speed of Mach 0.79, Mach 0.8, 799, somewhere around there. I'm going to take a look at our chart here. So we're not that far away from RWF. Now once we pass that, we'll subtract 50 from there. That'll put us at about 150 nautical miles to Fargo. Okay, so this is the approach chart. We don't have a standard arrival, so we can just make up our own arrival, really. For example, let's see, we could go to Rusted, and then the FAR, so Rusted, then FAR, and then straight into the airport. See if we can add that in there. see where KMEM is. Invalid. Unable to find FedEx KMEM. KOBME. Nope. Sorry, Gaming Horse. While I'm doing the live stream, I'm just gonna be chatting on here. So, no, I won't be joining TeamSpeak. But if you want to leave me, you can send me a message through the channel and leave your info. I'll hit you up. Okay, it would help if I could type. Okay, so KMEM is just straight south of Fargo. Okay, so it looks like that's lined up straight with the runway there. Okay. Planning mode. That's great. Okay, so we'll be landing here in the next, within the next 30 minutes we'll be into our final descent. So if you guys are going to go elsewhere on the internet, come back in 30 minutes. We'll be right there by the airport ready to land. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to do some quick research and see where I need to start my descent. While I'm doing that, I'm going to give you a nice exterior view of the airplane. Okay, so using a descent calculator, I need to start descending at 1,200 feet per minute, 140.48 miles from the target. Okay. So we are 168, so in about 20 miles we'll begin the descent. and then we'll keep it at 280. Okay. Go ahead and set altitude down to the KMEM altitude, and that is 3,500 feet. MSL. So we're just gonna go like straight down. We're not doing a step descent or anything. Okay, and we'll use flight level change to maintain our speed during that. Wait, no I don't. I want to use vertical. Yeah, no. Vertical speed. Here we go. Okay. For those of you who are just joining us, we're using the Boeing 757-200 normal procedures and checklist from the FCOM that's provided with the Flight Factor 757. So we're going to go through the descent checklist. Pressurization panel is first. Pressurization landing altitude is 901 feet. We're going to put that in even 900. Landing altitude pressurization is checked. Recall is checked and clear. Auto brake. We're going to be doing auto brake 3. Yeah, I think 3 will be good. Landing data VREF and minimums. Alright, so to find out our VREF and minimums, let's look at the chart. Let's go back to flights. Fargo chart. And if we're doing an RNAV approach, our landing minimums are going to be we'll probably be doing LNAV only. Yeah, we're only doing LNAV, so it's going to be 521 altitude radio altitude. So we're going to set 521. And let's find our VREF. We're landing in a full flaps configuration. Our VREF is 122 knots, and our bug is set. And let's do an approach briefing. Okay, so approach briefing. I'm the only one in the aircraft, so I'll be briefing myself. We're going to fly straight into Fargo. I will be handling all the alarms. I will be leaving it on auto. If the conditions are LIFR, we will be using auto land, and we will switch to ILS. If the conditions are IFR, we will be using RNAV, and I will be controlling the descent and altitude and leaving LNAV on. If the conditions are VFR, I will be manually flying the airplane from the last waypoint out on the approach list. If there are any emergencies, I will promptly eject myself out the window with a parachute and wish the plane good luck. Approach briefing is complete. Oh my god. Where? I didn't imagine that. It said traffic. I don't know what the hell that was. Looks like we're gonna beat. Looks like we're gonna beat the other guys there. We're getting pretty close now. Go ahead and slow down to 280. Increase rate of descent. Okay, let's start getting our information for Fargo. It looks like we're in IFR conditions still. Wind 330 at 2, gusting 3-1, visibility 0.5. Clouds broken at 600 feet, overcast 1500, temperature 0. Altimeter is 2946. 2946, so right in the middle of a low pressure system. Alright, so once we go below transition altitude, we'll change our altimeters to 2946. And that was a 9 minutes ago update. I'm going to check out the check out the chart again. So let's see. South General Aviation Ramp, Terminal Building, Terminal Ramp, Cargo Ramp. Okay. So it looks like our cargo ramp is here on the left side of the runway. So we'll do a full rollout and then go to Alpha 1 back to Charlie, or we can do Alpha 1 to Alpha and then turn in the cargo ramp. So that'll be real easy. Now if we get on the ground and we don't need the whole runway, we'll just turn off at Charlie. Okay. Now, I don't think I'm gonna need the terrain map for this. I'm gonna use the weather radar and let's see. I'm gonna do 5 degrees down. Okay. Go ahead and turn the anti-icing on. We're about to enter the cloud layer and it is -10 outside. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and start the APU now so I don't forget to do it later. I tend to forget about that thing. You notice the plane is yawing to the left, so we have a pretty decent wind coming in there, 41 miles an hour. And once we get down to surface altitude, you should have a headwind. I'm not sure where we're getting weather information from, but I'm gonna check flight configuration because to me it doesn't really match. That's X-plane weather for you. Okay, passing transition altitude, and we're going to, what was it again? Current METAR information is 296, correction, 2946. Okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to be 40 miles from our final descent. So just hang in there with me. We got about probably about 20 minutes left until we touch down to the ground. Let's see. I'm going to leave you with this weather radar here in Fargo. And I'll be right back. Okay, let's see here. It looks like we're getting close there. We got FedEx 5817 right behind us, FedEx 23 behind him. Man, these folks are getting some serious cargo up here in North Dakota. Okay. Dial this down. Okay, we're approaching. Okay, landing lights on. Oh boy, here we go. Okay, bringing the speed down to 210 knots. Okay, approaching altitude. Alright, we're at 3,500 feet. Let's see if we can see the airport from here. Okay, I think I see it. Yep, there it is. Alright. Okay, landing checklist. Let's get some... Oh, god damn it. Alright, let's get some spoilers going. I need to slow down quite a bit. Says our fuel configuration is jacked up. Get some fuel in the center tank. No X feeds are on. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Okay, at VREF plus 80 we'll start to putting down our flaps. I did that prematurely and you saw my flaps failed, so that was no bueno, no bueno. Approach checklist. Landing gear down at the end of approach. Glide path approach flaps 20. Holy moly, look at that windshield. Oh my god. Okay, I can't see shit. Wow. Final approach course is 156 degrees. 156 is set, and we're gonna bring it down to 120 plus. We're gonna bring it down to 172. We turn here on to final. We're gonna extend one notch of flaps. Oh my goodness. Holy moly. Stick jiggers. We just had a very interesting wind change there. Wow. Some serious. Okay, so that's like 0 visibility. That's great. That doesn't help me at all. Okay, at Hubit, we're going to be at 2,600 feet at Hubit on course 356. We're going to bring that down to 142. There's the notch of flaps there. Gear down. Speed brakes up. Approaching altitude. Altitude captured, and we're going to go down to landing altitude, vertical speed down at 900. I think ILS would probably be better on this, but we'll see. When we get down to decision height, we should be right below the clouds, and we'll make a decision at that point. Flaps are at 15, we're going to flaps 20. Oh my god. Holy moly. There it is. Oh my god, that was... Oh my god, that was intense.
$100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Wow. Speed brakes up, flaps up. Wow. That was crazy. Now we're going to do full roll to the end of the runway. One, 121.9. FedEx 1554, Fargo ground with you at the end of 18, turning on to Alpha 1 to cargo, please. Taxi via Alpha, FedEx 1554, thank you, sir. Wow, I gotta watch that landing again. That was nuts. I think my vertical descent speed was way too fast when I hit the ground, but tires didn't blow, so I guess we're okay. I might need to inspect the landing gear after that one. Holy moly. Make sure my stuff is off here. Okay, looks like some jerks in my parking spot, so I'm just gonna have to make a parking spot, I guess. Some jerk in a DC-10. Red Jacks. Gotta love the Red Jacks. Trucks. Okay. Wow. Alright, let's disconnect from VATSIM so I can do a playback. I gotta see that landing. Let's check it out from outside. Wow. That was pretty rough. That was rough. So, watch this break through the clouds. I mean, what about... Look at this. Look at this. You have no idea. No idea that plane is there. And all of a sudden it just breaks through. Back up a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. Wasn't too bad. It was a little rough, off center line, but way off center line. That's nuts. That is nut. That is the most nuts approach I've done on VATSIM in a while. I mean, we're just following the RNAV here. Like, well, yeah, I mean, the airport should be right here. And then we broke through. Oh my God. Gotta trust your instruments, not your eyeballs. Wow. Crazy. Okay, thank you for joining me for my live stream. The rest of it is just going to be a shutdown, so you know, that's the end of the exciting stuff. We're going to do a checklist shutdown now. Okay, taxiway, turn off lights, logo lights, wing lights, auto brake off, confirmed, speed brake is down, flaps are up, anti-ice off, weather radar into the test off position. I just killed somebody with that thing. Oops. Transponder mode not in TCAS, so we're going to turn that. Standby. Flight directors left and right off. ILS park. Decision height reset to 0. Horizontal terrain indicator off. Weather display off. Traffic off. Stabilizer trim reset to 4 units. Engine cooldown requirements. Rolls-Royce run minimum 1 minute. Prior to turning the gate, runway off, crew is ready at the gate. Parking brake is set. Seatbelt selector to the off position. Wing lights off, logo lights off, bleed isolation on. APU bleed is on, engine bleed left, right off. Oopsies. Oh, yes, there we go. Cabin differential pressure confirm at 0. At 0. Exterior doors manual open. Parking brake confirmed, set wheel chocks in place. Where are we at? Parking brake light is on. Bleed isolation confirm on. If on, GPU. Do we want to go GPU? Yeah, we'll go. We'll let them connect that GPU. External power light is available. External power switch is on. Engine anti-ice off. Wing anti-ice confirm off. Engine bleed left, right off. Fuel control switches left and right off. Nose wheel steering is locked out. Left elect hydraulic off. Center elect hydraulic off. Right elect hydraulic off. Fuel pumps off. Oops, no. Go away. Red anti-collision lights are off. ICAS messages. Flight director confirm off. Flight deck door unlock. Hydraulic panel set. Fuel pumps all off. Flaps up. Parking brake on. Fuel switch cut off. Weather radar off. Shutdown checklist complete. Securing position. Securing procedure. Engine start selector are in off mode. IRU is left, center, right off. Emergency lights all off. Window heat all off. HF radios off. AC packs left, right off. Transponder standby. Research fans off. Logo lights off. Wing lights off. It doesn't say position lights, but I'm going to go ahead and turn them off anyway. APU bleed is off. APU off. Standby power off. And finally battery off. Secure checklist. IRU's off. Emergency lights off. Window heat off. Packs off. Secure checklist is complete. And this is how we'll leave the plane. I guess eventually somebody would come turn this off, maybe. Thought I'd turn APU off. You know, turn it off. Okay, everything's off now. And our inward opening door. On the ground here at Fargo, in what was a pretty nasty landing. Pretty nasty on my part and pretty nasty on the weather part. It was fun though, and thank you for joining my live stream. Before we go, King has a question. How did you get rain effect on your front windows? The rain effect, as far as I know, is with the Flight Factor 757. It comes standard. There are some other really cool ones out there, like the TFDI 717 for Prepared and Microsoft Flight Simulator. It has a true glass that they just came out with like about a month ago, maybe less than a month ago, and it has some really cool looking raindrops and like the rain smearing effect, and looks really nice. This one, it just comes with the aircraft. It looked pretty cool though. I mean, it looked like it was supposed to be ice, like snow on the windshield. It looked pretty accurate to me. Now it looks like we're getting some rain. I'm not so sure this is actually rain outside though. According to the weather, it's snow. So anyway, Captain Skyhawk signing off. Join me for another live stream. I'm gonna try to stream again on next Monday. No, just kidding. I got something to do next Monday. I'll try to do something later on in the week, like Thursday or Friday. If you want to see a certain flight, a certain aircraft, leave me a message, a comment on here, and please give me some thumbs up. Let me know you enjoy these live streams, and I'll catch you later.